YouTube, Robinic, RBJ2K, thank you for tuning to the channel, thank you for tuning to the video. Look, you guys saw by the title, you guys saw by the thumbnail. Today we made 7'4", 99 block Victor Wembanyama. This was a build that I was really trying to try out for a very long time for specifically Legend Paint Patroller, as you saw in the thumbnail. But we're going to get right into it. Look, Jesus Christ first always, like, comment, and subscribe. Turn the noties on, share with auntie, granny, and uncle. Let's go ahead and get into it. So obviously we're going to be Victor Wembanyama. Made him right-handed and made him number 1 because that's Victor Wembanyama's number. And of course, we got to be a center and we got to be height 7'4". The reason why I chose a weight of 232 is because you see right here the 232 is tied to your perimeter. So if I go a little bit heavier, you see that perimeter, we're not gonna be able to get 62. I thought 62 would be a good place because we do have a little bit of strength on this build, which we will get into in a little bit. But the 62 perimeter with the strength will give you bronze and movable enforcer. It's pretty good in order to be able to guard a little bit of guard on the perimeter. Because you are 7'4", you're gonna be really slow. I had to keep that in mind. I wanted to get at least a 61 speed. Again, you'll see in a very little bit when we go into the physicals, but I had to max out my speed for sure because 7'4s are like super slow. One thing to keep in mind is that this does sacrifice your ability to get a 94 D board, which will give you better badges to get the Hall of Fame rebound chaser, I believe. So just keep that in mind. I did decide to get a little bit more perimeter instead of going for that Hall of Fame because I can just +1 that. So 232, we decided to go with a 7'7" wingspan because I think 83 3-pointer is a good place to put it. You want to be able to hit, and that's the right place to put it in my opinion. And obviously you see right here we do get the 99 block still. So let's go ahead and move on to the physicals. The first thing I'm going to show you guys, so as I mentioned just recently, we got to go 61 speed. If you're going to be anything less than a 60, just realize that you're going to be so damn slow to the point where you're not even going to be able to get into position in time. We're going to go with the same thing on our agility. We only get a 46 agility. As a 7'4" build, I realized that Victor Wembanyama is able to move a lot better than they allow you to let 7'4s move in this game. But just keep that in mind. At 7'4", you're not going to be fast. So put the jet takeover is what I would recommend if you end up making this build. If you want to be a little bit faster, the jet takeover will help you, or the speedster takeover. Those are both generic takeovers. You don't have any, there's no badge or attribute ratings that's tied to. So let's go ahead and move on to the strength. We are able to get a 72 strength out of this build. You see we are going to be able to get our brick wall on bronze. We're pretty new into the season, so I don't have that plussed yet, but if I do end up deciding to make this into a build that I'll take to the pro-am, I will +2 that in order to do the cheesy screens. At least gold brick wall will get me able to set my guard a little bit better screens. But keep in mind that I did make this build for the rec and just to try out the 99 block, see what it was talking about. So everything else is pretty much a cherry on top for me because I needed to see how toxic Paint Patroller on Legend could get. But let's go ahead and move on to the vertical. Just cruise through this real quick. 73 vertical. This is tied to, you see here on the screen, high flying denier, pogo stick, posterizer, rise up, all critical badges. And 73 vertical will help you snag rebounds. As a 7'4", it's a little bit less critical to have higher vertical because we are 7'4". We're pretty much going to be able to snag over anyone, so that's not a concern of mine. 73 is mainly tied to other attributes, and that's why I put it at a 73 rating. But I say we go ahead and move on to the finishing. So for the driving dunk, that's usually what I start with. We're going to have a 73 driving dunk on this build. The reason why I went 73 is you see we get this bronze posterizer. That's very important because you're gonna, if in the event you play off ball, most bigs I know play in the corner or they set screens. 73 driving dunk, you will be able to cut back door, and with bronze posterizer, I think that's just a good place to put it. You really don't, in my opinion, on bigger builds at 7'4" need crazy driving dunk, so that's the reason why I only put it at a 73. And in pairing that with a 72 standing dunk, we are gonna get bronze rise up. Again, we're early in the season, so I haven't grinded out my badge slots where I could +1 and +2 quite yet, but bronze rise up is sufficient. Now the meter will be smaller because I only have bronze rise up, but regardless, you'll see we have O board and you will be able to get putbacks as you get the O board and are able to finish over the bigs once you get that O board. So one thing I was happy with as well with the post control, I was able to squeeze an 87 post control out of this build. I paired that as well with an 87 close shot in order to get this gold hook specialist and the gold float game. Now this isn't a crazy toxic post control type of build, but having an 87 close shot with an 87 post control, and I'm just gonna sort of move on to the mid-range so I can show you the badges we get with the finishing. So I did get an 80 mid-range out of this build, and with that, let's go to the post control here. So we do get gold post fade phenom. Post control, I would say in general in 2K is a very underrated attribute rating because not a lot of people play like that. Most people are doing the L2 cancels and the crazy dribble animations. But honestly, post control, I made this build with post control set that in the event I start getting into, you know, I'm 7'4" Victor Wembanyama, I want to start putting my back to the basket. That's most definitely going to be something that I can do on this build. So yeah, let's just run through this. We get gold hook specialist, gold post fade phenom. We actually have silver unpluckable, which is pretty good. And then we got gold post up poet. So pair that with the 87 close shot, you can't be toxic down low. with the post moves on the 7-4. Let's go ahead and move on to the shooting though. I already mentioned the mid-range. I decided to put an 82-3 on this build because I do have one cap breaker for my build specialization, which is shooting. On all my builds, I make sure to at least get set shot specialist on silver. If you don't know this already, set shot specialist is pretty much, in my opinion, the best badge on the game because it literally always triggers if you play any sort of 5-out, even when you dribble and you stay at a standstill if you're a guard for a split second. Set shot specialist triggers. All that being said, I put silver set shot specialist on this build, you see right here, because I am able to get the +1, and I'm gonna put that on gold set shot specialist. So yeah, not much to be said about the shooting. I'll show you guys my jump shot that I put on this build right here. This is what I've been putting on all my bigs for literally the entire 2K26, and it has never let me down. My apologies, I don't know where I got the jump shot from, but it was somewhere on the internet. But it's a very good jumper, especially for bigs, with the jump shot pack, with the Ethernet core. No dips, I'm hitting no dips. I'm spacing out the floor in the corner. You know, as a big, as a center, there's centers who always want to help down low. You're gonna be able to make them pay whatever they want to help out on the interior. So with the free throw, let's go ahead and move on to that 89 free throw. In the event that I do bring this build to the Pro-Am, I just don't want to be missing free throws. The rec, I don't really care that much, but when I go into the Pro-Am, every single point counts really. So just keeping that in mind. For the pass accuracy, you might be wondering why I went with this attribute, but I currently have 9 cap breakers, 9 general cap breakers on top of that one I mentioned earlier, which is the build specialization one. Are you guys done with your build specializations, man? Let me know in the comments because I'm still struggling to get my second cap breaker. I'm only on goal 8 of 9, so I really need to dedicate more time to that, but I just haven't been. But anyways, that's beyond the point. I put it at 88 because I do have 89, 90, 91, 92. I have 4 extra cap breakers that I could put on this, and when I get my other one from the end of the season, I'm gonna put it on this pass accuracy so that I can get 93 pass accuracy, and that will unlock Hall of Fame break starter. So that's the reason I put it there. The ball handle and the speed ball I put all the way down. Most of the clips you guys will see here will mainly be me grabbing the rebound and throwing it all the way across court. 88 pass accuracy, I will say, is not as good as 93. Clearly, I think there is a significant drop off there, so I would aim for the 93, but you will still be able to go and throw the ball pretty far with relative accuracy with having gold break starter. So yeah, I was running Victor Wembanyama pass style on this build. That might be another reason why he wasn't throwing the best outlet passes, but I would still say I'm pretty satisfied with that. Having gold dimer on your big is very important as well, and that will help your teammates shoot a lot better. The ball handle I kept at a 38 and the speed ball at a 25. Now you might be saying Victor Wembanyama can dribble way better than that. It's a give and take with this builder. There just wasn't some things that I could give up in order to get a higher ball handle, and honestly, I'm not really a big fan of the 7-4 type of dribble sigs that you would be able to get anyways. If I'm wrong, let me know in the comments, but that was my MO when I did this build. But let's go ahead and move on to the defense. For the interior, I'm going to put an 89 interior, and the reason why I went 89 is because it's tied to your block. I decided to go with a 94 block, and I +5 that to a 99 block in order to get, as you see here, we're going to be able to get Legend Paint Patroller. In my time with the build, I think I'm averaging about 5 blocks a game. I would say that's pretty on track with how Victor Wembanyama has been playing in 2K26 or in 2026 NBA season. I'm pretty satisfied with it. Now I will say it is a little bit tougher to get into position to get the block, being so slow at 7-4, but once you are in position, it's very rare that you're going to get dunked on. Now I'm not going to sit here and cap and act like I never got dunked on. There was definitely a couple times I can remember where I did, but regardless, a 99 block, I think another factor that's into play with this is when you load into the rec and people see you have a 99 block, and after you get a block on their homie or whoever they're playing with, the randoms, they're very hesitant to start trying to finish down low in the paint. I will say that at 7-4 99 block, there's very rarely going to be people who are going to try you. The main thing that you want to make sure you do though is always try to be in position, and that can sometimes get you killed if you got a big who could shoot. Just be mindful of that because they will be out there trying to space the floor out to get you out of the paint. It's probably going to be their main objective, but regardless, I put a 94 block in order to get +5 that to a 99. Kept the steal at a 44, and as I mentioned in the beginning, I put my perimeter to a 62 in order to get this bronze immovable enforcer. But yeah, that's that for defense. This was my main priority of making this build, was to get a 99 block. What I do recommend that you do in the event you want to make some sort of build like this, and I still haven't labbed this yet, but what you should try to do, honestly, I think the best sort of middle ground between having a 99 block 7-4 Victor Wembanyama build is to try and find, whether that be 6'11", 7 foot, or 7'1", a little bit faster of a center, and also try to make sure that you can get, I'm pretty interested, and I might make this build myself, get a legend high flying denier, legend paint patroller type of center. That might be the absolute most toxic center in terms of defense on the game. Might be something I'll lab up. Let me know if you guys want to see that. But let's go ahead and move on to the rebound. As I mentioned in the intro as well, or in the beginning, I put a 92 D board on this. It's gonna give us gold rebound chaser and gold box out beast. Again, I'm not able to get in the beginning, I think I said Hall of Fame rebound chaser, but Hall of Fame box out beast because I don't have the 94. But I was okay with that. What I ended up doing was putting my +1 on my rebound chaser, so I do have Hall of Fame. And then I went to the O board at an 81. There's plenty of clips where I'll grab an O board and be able to finish on my defender. 81 is actually really good. It's pretty motivating to at least go and run and try to get the O board. And getting O boards, as most of you guys probably already know, is very critical in helping your team win the game. But yeah, that's the build right here. I think I did a pretty good job. I'm happy with the build in terms of the goal that I was trying to make with this build, and that was to try out the 99 block. Let's go ahead and see what shades we get with this build. There we go, Victor Wembanyama. I'm not too happy with the face scan that I made, but we get Victor Wembanyama, Arvydas Sabonis, and Donovan Clingan. We're gonna be a backline inside out dimer. I am happy with that build name. Now I got beef with Ronnie 2K because he said my weakness is I'm built like wet paper. That's pretty crazy. But anyways, let me know what you guys think of this build. 7'4" Victor Wembanyama 99 block can definitely be toxic in the rec. Take it maybe even to the prime, but let me know what you guys think. If you made it to the end of this video, I really do appreciate you guys. God bless you. And if you guys want to check out my 6'6" Bauer honest review, check it out right here. Again, if you made it to the end of this video, I really do appreciate it. God bless. Until the next one, deuces.